The big five of fitness: train smart, eat right, recover fast, supplement wisely, and think strong. What if I told you that everything you need to transform your body and health comes down to just five core elements? Whether you're a busy professional or an athlete over 40 or just tired of starting over every Monday, this video is your roadmap. I'm Mark Saunders, fitness coach, faith-led mentor, and your guide to a smarter, more sustainable transformation. In this video, I'm going to break down the big five: training that actually works, nutrition that fuels you, recovery that resets you, supplementation that supports your body, and the mindset to keep going when it gets tough. Stick with me for the next few minutes, and I promise you'll walk away with a clear game plan that actually works in the real world. So first things first, I believe it's important to establish a clear, specific goal. So let's do a little goal setting exercise right now. If you could wave a realistic magic wand and you could have your body, your health, your energy, any kind of way you would like it to be, what would that be like for you? Think about it. Get clear and specific. Ideally, narrow it down to a specific body weight and a body fat percent. Then once you have that, consider wrapping it up in this affirmation/prayer. I am happy and grateful now that I am. State your body weight and your body fat percent goal. What this does is it puts you in the state of gratefulness that you are happy and grateful right now, that you are the goals that you're working on. You're putting your current mental state in the mind that you are grateful that it's already happened. And once you get that, let's look at mastering what I call the big five. Let's look at exercise. When it comes to exercise, I feel like there are generally two basic areas of exercise to put into your program: cardiovascular exercise and strength training exercise. Now imagine for a moment that we have a twin engine airplane, and we have one engine is strength training, one engine is cardiovascular training. Now, ideally, as you're flying along, we're going to want to have both engines going strong on the airplane. So you're going to have a cardio program and you're going to have a strength training program. So maybe 4 days a week of each. Or maybe like me, I do 5 days of 30 minutes of cardio and 4 days of 1 hour of weights. Very simple. Now, when we're building out an exercise program, consider that there are basically 5 principles to a good exercise program: proper form, variety, intensity, proper training principles, and consistency. They're right here on the screen. So what would you say are the benefits of proper form? Well, 2 things usually come to mind is that we're exercising the muscle effectively and we're not getting hurt. Then variety. Why would we want to switch it up from time to time again? Why not just do the same workout over and over? 2 big reasons come to mind. One is a lot of people mentally get bored doing the same thing over and over again. And then 2, our bodies get bored. Have you ever heard of a plateau? Or plateau is where you get stuck and you can't get to the next level. But by changing things up, you can continually to break through plateaus. Variety. The third principle to a good training program is intensity. Now, what comes to mind when you think about exercising with intensity? Challenging yourself, pushing yourself, right? Imagine for a moment that we're doing presses and we're going for 12 repetitions. And we get to 9, 10, 11, 12. We barely get that 12th one, but we got that 12th one. What's the most beneficial part of that set? The first few reps or the last few reps? What would be the last few, right? And why? That's where the overload occurs. That's where the breakdown occurs. So be sure to include good intensity in your training program. The fourth part of a good training program is using proper training principles. There's all kind of principles such as burns, giant sets, supersets, cheating, peak extraction, stripping, negatives, pyramiding, and rest pause training. It's also a good way to introduce variety into your routine. So be sure to sprinkle in different training, proper training principles. And the last but not least is consistency. What do you think the main benefit of consistency in your training program is? Well, imagine for a moment you have you and say you have a twin of you, and you're both going for the same goals. And you start off, you exercise 4 days a week of weights, 5 days a week of cardio, you're eating healthy, you're getting your sleep, but the other person starts off that way, but then misses a workout here and there, eats a little more junk food here and there, doesn't always get the full amount of sleep here and there. At the end of the year, who's going to have the best results? The consistent version of yourself. So be sure to include the power of the principle of consistency. So just to summarize, our 5 basic principles of training are proper form, variety, intensity, proper training principles, and consistency. Now next, let's look at recovery. All right. So when it comes to recovery, the third big of the big 5, according to my research and everything I've been studying over the last several years, it narrows it down to approximately almost everyone should consider getting about 7.5 to 9 hours sleep a night, 2 hours of deep, 2 hours of REM. Now, how can you do that? A few different strategies here. One is consider having what's called your sleep opportunity time. So if you want to have a 8-hour sleep opportunity, make sure you have that much time in the bed. So 10 to 6, 9 to 5, 11 to 7, whatever works for you. Set the same go to bed times and wake up times daily. As you get close to bed, consider limiting your food intake to about 2 hours before you go to sleep. That way you're not metabolizing food as you get close to bedtime. And what that'll do is lower your heart rate so you can have a nice quality sleep. Then also to limit screen time, hour or 2 before bedtime as well. And just set a cool temperature in the room if possible, darken the room, and have a good night's sleep consistently. That's recovery. Now let's look at nutrition. So I feel like there are basically 4 different ways that food affects our fitness goals: metabolism, energy levels, blood sugar levels, and insulin levels. Now, let's take a look at, imagine for a moment that we have a fireplace. And on one hand, we have a stack of oak wood, and on the other hand, we have a stack of paper. And not including, kindling and getting the fire started, but if you had to choose between the oak wood or the paper to burn in your fireplace, which one would you pick and why? Well, most of us will pick the oak wood, and why? Because it's going to burn longer, slower, more efficiently. The processed foods, sugars, alcohols, they're going to burn fast like paper. So consider leaning into the oak wood type foods like fruits and vegetables, whole grains, and plant-based proteins like legumes, lentils, nuts, and seeds. Now, let's look at supplementation. So when it comes to supplements, I feel like there are basically 2 different categories of supplements: nutritional supplements and enhancement performance supplements. Nutritional supplements is like a protein shake, smoothies, protein bars. Enhancement performance supplements is like creatine, fat burners, prescription medications, those kind of things. They're important, but remember the fundamentals: exercise, nutrition, get your sleep. Then we supplement, and it can make the difference. Then the last but not least is the mindset, and that's very powerful. Our minds controls our bodies, not the other way around. So that's why I offered at the beginning of this video a affirmation / prayer, because we want to train our mind on top of your goals. So at the beginning of this video, we did a goal setting exercise. If you didn't do it, let's go back and do it, please. And then wrap this affirmation around your goal. So ideally set a goal to have a body weight and a body fat % goal that you can really relate with. Then say the affirmation / prayer. I am happy and grateful now that I am at least, and then plug in the body weight goal and plug in the body fat % goal. I use myself as an example. I am happy and grateful now that I am at least 190 pounds and at or below 10% body fat. And you can go on and say more affirmations. This is just our fitness affirmation. But the mindset, see yourself achieving the goal now in the present. Visualize that goal. Feel it. Feel grateful that you've achieved it in the mind. When it comes time to follow through your program, your exercise program, your eating program, remember that your mind controls your body, not the other way around. You tell your body what it's going to exercise, eat, sleep, and such. Now, if you're serious about making progress, not just watching videos, I want to help you apply this to your life. I'm offering a complimentary consultation, no strings attached. This is your chance to get personalized guidance on your fitness goals, diet plan, recovery strategy, and whatever area you're stuck in. Just click the link in the description, book your free session, and let's take that next step together. You don't need another random workout. You don't need a coach who sees the bigger picture. And that's what you do need, is a coach who sees the bigger picture. And that's exactly what the Big Five is all about. The training, nutrition, recovery, supplementation, mindset. I'm Mark, and I believe you were made for more. Let's go get it. And remember that health is wealth. Be blessed, and I'll see you on the next one. New content, God willing, every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Be blessed, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.